Good afternoon, sixth grade Bobcats. Welcome back to another great week at the Helena Middle School. On today's Bob lesson, brand new Bob lesson, which actually came from feedback from sixth grade teachers last spring about sixth graders and the enormous change from elementary school and how critically important it is for academic success to be organized. Organization is something that's critically important when you get to middle school, you continue on to high school, and when you continue on to post high school. I know without my phone and without my different tools of organizations, my electronic calendar, my other calendar, reminders, flagging emails, setting reminders in my phone, writing my reminders to myself, having a clean and organized home, clean and organized office. It's really important that I do those things. And so I reached out to some seventh graders that were the seventh grade A team that had proven that they have been high achievers being in our building, and reached out to them for some tips on how you guys can be your best when being organized. And we had a little 4-part series, and I'm excited to show that to you today. Make a great week. All right, we're off and running on this Bob lesson, Organization for Success at HMS, featuring the awesome 7th grade A team, Tristan Hill, Genevieve Hibbard, Lillian Budelshees, and Kellen Smith. But first, let's be our best this week at HMS. Let's be Bob. Let's be safe. Let's be responsible. Let's be respectful. Let's be a learner.
Okay. Hi, my name is Genevieve Hibbard. When it comes to organization, I would like to talk about the binder. I used a binder when I was in 6th grade, and it helped me a lot. My locker was very far away from all of my classes, so I had the binder, and it did, like I said before, helped me a lot. Hi, I'm Genevieve again, and I would like to show you my binder as promised, like how I said before. So in here, I would usually keep different subjects into these different parts, and I would probably keep my notebooks onto the ringed binder part, and then I would have like some extra notebook paper back here. And also I would have my books and some of my notebooks right in this little pocket, so then I could easily grab them out, and also some pencils right there, so I could also easily grab them. I would take this to every class, and I would have all of my notebooks and books and all of the supplies that I would need for each class in here. And when I took it home, I would usually just take out some of the things that I needed, for example, a pencil and a notebook and a book that I would need, and then I would have it and I could do my homework easily.
Hi, my name is Tristan Hill, and when it comes to organization, I will be talking about utilizing Teams and PowerSchool to stay on top of all your things that might be online, or just all your grades if you're using PowerSchool for it. Hey, it's Tristan again, and I'm going to be using this screen recording to help show you how to use Teams and PowerSchool for your online life as a tool of organization for your success. So I'm going to start on PowerSchool, and PowerSchool is a really nice tool because it lets you really easily find, make sure your grades are doing good, see if you have anything that's late or missing. So if you have a missing assignment, you can always go over here and check. I don't have any right now, but if I did, it would show up as Science, October 19th, Amplify Lesson 2.4, and yeah, it'll just say that, and it'd probably be best to get those turned in so it doesn't show up as a 0 in your grade. But yeah, it's just a nice tool to see what you need to work on, or if there's anything you need to ask your teachers about if you missed school. Which kind of brings me to my next thing. Teams is also a really nice tool because a lot of teachers will use technology, whether it's Amplify or, most of the times they'll also have a Teams page, and you can head into that. And some might have, if it's a science teacher, you might have your Amplify slides. But if you're missing a day of school, there might be a thing in general, like a form that you can click on that will lead you to an agenda. So if you're gone, you can click on that this doesn't have anything on it, but if it did, it would have like what day it is, what you're missing, or like what activity they did while you're gone, so you can work on that. And then like if there's no agenda that you can see, you can always head to the chat page and go to your teachers and text something to them and see if they can do anything. So like say they didn't have an agenda, you can ask them what you missed while you were there. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Teams in Power School.
Hi, I'm Kellen Smith, and one of the most important things about school is your lockers. Your lockers hold all of your stuff, it helps keep you organized, and you want to keep generally most of your items in your lockers to switch in and out between classes. But sometimes they can get pretty messy. If they're messy, it can get really just inefficient, and you won't be able to get to class on time because you only have 4 minutes. I have many tips for you on locker space, how to organize them, different things you should put in, and even how you can make your locker better. Lockers are always important, and you really never really want them looking that messy because it can get very just disorganized, and it'll look really bad. Kind of like that one. You don't really want that. So some tips I always like to keep organized are not putting food in there. Water is probably fine, just make sure it doesn't spill anywhere. Top shelf. You don't want food in there because at the end of the year, you'll open it, there will be all this food, and it'll smell really bad. You want to put usually all your papers and books in one spot. Kind of, you can keep your books at one area so you can easily get to them. And you don't want them kind of all over the area, like coats being at the bottom where you have all your stuff, because now you can't reach your papers. And you just want to make sure you have a designated spot for every single subject, every single piece of paper, all of your stuff that you really need to help stay organized in middle school. So this is my classmate Taylor's locker. As you can see, she has everything organized. She has her books, she has her binders, she has her paper at the top, she has all her materials at the bottom. She can get everything when she needs it. There's no clutter, there's no food left in there. And she has a nice schedule on the side here so she can see what day it is and what she needs to do for that day. And everything is perfect, easily accessible, and it's nice and organized.
Hi Bobcats, I'm Lillian, and when I was in 6th grade, I remember the most important thing for me when it comes to organization was the assignment notebooks.
It's me again. Here is an example of my assignment notebook. I have all the classes and what we did that day and what we're going to do in the week. And I also have what I'm going to do in the evening, like soccer or rehearsal, and also things I need to do to be prepared for the next day at school. Like I have to bring home a folder, or on Thursday I have library, but I don't know anything else I'm going to be doing. So I write down I have library, so I bring my library books to school. In conclusion, this helps me with time management and churning my assignments in on time, and also being prepared for the future. Tests, quizzes, rehearsal. Yeah.
All right, let's check in with our Jelly Bean Question of the Week winners. That'd be Juliet Mahar, Soren Satzer, Carly Winkley, Corey Edgley, Cody Alfson, and Cameron Runyon. The answer was 7. Take away a letter and it becomes an even number. That would be 7. A little play on numbers and words there. A little English and math. Shout out all our wonderful English and math teachers. All right, this week's Jelly Bean Question of the Week. I am pronounced as one letter and written with 3. I'm double, I'm single, I'm brown, blue, and green. I'm red from both ends and the same either way. What am I? If you think you know the answers, submit your answer to the Bob box. Make sure your first and last name are on it. Make sure it's legible. I had to skip several correct answers because I couldn't read the name or there was no name at all. Tune in next week, see if you're a winner. All right, Bobcats, let's make it a great week.